Hello everyone and welcome to part 12 of my Winds of Change guide, Cleansing Morostov Trail. Not necessarily a difficult quest unless you're somewhat worried about a boss rush, I guess. So I noticed someone else has started doing a video guide series on Winds of Change, though he's doing only the main difficult quests, I guess. He's not doing everything, which I'm just doing for the sake of completion, I guess. He's also using consets, at least I've seen him use them once, so cheater. But yeah, in all seriousness, his videos are fairly different from mine. He's using an assassin, so that's a lot more powerful than a necromancer, and he's using consumables, so he will show you how easy it can be if you want it to be, I guess. Whereas this is... what I'm doing is more of a struggle through playing a class I'm not very familiar with, and a build that's not super powerful, and using, I guess, limited amounts of consumables. I'm using some on occasion. Okay, anyway, Cleansing Morostov Trail. The quest itself is not terribly difficult. It is somewhat different from previous cleansing quests because you don't just... well, you still just go in and kill all the afflicted, but in this case it's not standard groups, it is a boss rush, so it's 8 bosses concentrated in a very tiny area. I'll be putting the skill sets of the bosses on screen. Let me know if that's something you find helpful or if it's really distracting. Yeah, there's 8 bosses, 1 for every class that's available in factions. So each of the classes plus each of the base classes plus ritualist and assassin. And this is Necro. You can see his skills right there. Should be fairly readable. Generally, he's not much of a threat. He doesn't have any big damaged skills. Obviously, the soul explosion when he dies, but that's not terribly dangerous. So yeah. Not that difficult. Next, I'm going for the monk. Basically, it's just important to be very, very careful and not over aggro. And also, this monk will go down very quickly because I got quite lucky. I hit him with Pain Inverter, and he used his Arcane Echo to copy Smite Condition, and he moved conditions from something that was standing right inside my minion horde. So, yeah, he just killed himself very quickly. You might have more trouble with him if you're not as lucky, I guess. Generally, Ray of Judgment is kind of a pain, or can be, but aside from that, he's not very dangerous. And next I'm going for the warrior. Again, I'm just going for whichever group I think I can get without dragging any other aggro. And then in the background, by the way, you can see the rangers dealing with a group of dredge. The afflicted are generally much more powerful, so the dredge are very, very unlikely to kill anything. They will probably just be obliterated in every single case. And here the warrior, a hammer warrior, slight AoE, but nothing fancy. We've actually fought this boss before in Pongmei Valley, and this is just more of the same. It's the exact same build. Again, he does knockdown when he dies, and he has some knockdown hammer attacks, but generally speaking, he's not really dangerous. I guess he doesn't do much damage to your party. And then next I'm going up here for the Elementalist. The Elementalist does have decent AoE, so as always when facing hard mode Elementalist bosses put down Shelter in advance, and then yeah, as you can see, Shelter did go down very, very quickly there, but that means it actually did prevent a lot of damage. His only real AoE is Blinding Surge, but it's an Elementalist. He's got a very high level and it's hard mode, so he will do a lot with that. So ideally, interrupt it or yeah, use Shelter. Obviously, using Shelter gives the advantage that Pain Inverter still triggers. Next, I got a nice opening on the Mesmer here. The Mesmer again is not terribly dangerous. As you can see, that's his skill set. Energy Surge obviously might seem dangerous, But the thing is, it's armor ignoring damage, which means it doesn't scale up in hard mode. Whereas the elementalists do elemental damage, obviously, and that scales as your level, as the level difference changes. So as the enemies begin to outlevel you more and more, elemental damage increases substantially, whereas armor ignoring damage, for example energy surge, kind of scales a lot more slowly, so it's a lot less troublesome. Generally making the Mesmer kind of meaningless. And the Ranger as well is not terribly dangerous. All he does is single target damage. I mean, he might hurt a lot on those single targets, but still not much of a threat. And here you can see I was being a little careless, and the Ritualist in the background is joining the fight. But yeah, that's the Ritualist skill set. So the standard afflicted Ritualists can do a lot of damage using Spirit Gif and Arcane Echo and such, and they can actually be quite painful. This Ritualist instead only does, well, defensive jobs. So he's much like Mike Sandra. He can put out a lot of defense in the form of these Communing Spirits. But that just makes the fight last a little longer. It doesn't make him a major threat, basically. So as you can see right here, I mean, the enemies lasted quite a while, but yeah, I mean, eventually it's just a matter of killing him. Not very difficult. So that double aggro is actually not that dangerous. And finally the Assassin, again largely single target damage. He doesn't have Death Blossom or Splinter Weapon or anything like that, which they could have given him, but they didn't. So yeah, in that group particularly, probably the Ritualist is actually more dangerous than the Assassin, even though the Assassin is a boss. But yeah, Spirit Drift, as you can see, kind of painful. But yeah, that really is it. Not much to this quest. I hope you enjoyed, and well, best of luck when you tackle this. Bye bye.